Tell me what you remember.
Titles. Battles. Glory.
Good work by Philogene. That is absolutely unbelievable. Power. Oh, would you believe it? He shoots up this, it's away now. Oh, what a save that is. Ecstatic scenes. It's a comeback story for the ages. Coventry City's exile is over.
And so welcome everyone to our live coverage of the 2026-27 Championship season. 10 months of drama ahead. There will be successes and failures, sackings and hirings, heroes and villains, playoffs and pain, promotion and relegation in one of the most exciting leagues in football. And it all starts at Molineux, with Wolverhampton Wanderers back in the Championship for the first time since 2018, following their relegation from the Premier League, taking on Blackburn Rovers, embarking on their 9th consecutive season at this level, having avoided relegation last season by an uncomfortably narrow margin. So the players are in the house, and the house is very nearly full. Really good to see that at this wonderful stadium, Molineux, that the supporters who endured a torrid time last season have come back with new hope and new belief that they can make amends for relegation with an early return straight back into the top flight. Both these clubs have new managers, of course. Cesar Peixoto now the man at the helm for the home side, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Tony Mowbray, we saw him earlier in that team arrivals, is the new old manager of Blackburn, back in a job he vacated in 2022. Well, it holds just a little over 31,000, and it doesn't look like there are many empty seats, does it? Out of the darkness cometh light, it says. Last season was dark indeed. They hope this season will be very different. Always bound to be a little extra nervous tension around on the first day of the season. And here they come. It's Wolves in the old gold and black. Blackburn Rovers in their change strip. Some very familiar faces in new colours. Kieran Trippier, now a Wolverhampton Wanderers player. And Blackburn Rovers supporters who've had to deal with some difficulties on the motorways just to get here today have travelled in good numbers too. Let's have a look at the teams then, shall we, for what is the second game of the season for both these sides. Carabao Cup, of course, last weekend. Wolves progressed on the first round of that with a 3-0 win over Port Vale a week ago. One change today. Hugo Bueno has what is described as a small groin injury, so David Muller-Wulfer plays at left-back. He's had less of a pre-season than most because of the World Cup, where he represented Norway. The returning home favourite, Raul Jimenez, is on the bench. He was also heavily involved in the World Cup with Mexico, of course. Blackburn also won in the Carabao, narrowly and late at Burton Albion. 2 changes for them. Christy Montgomery into midfield in place of Jake Garrett, who drops to the bench. Andrew Gudjonsson, scorer at Burton as a sub, comes into the starting 11 for Yuki Ohashi. He's also on the bench, as is the experienced Wolverhampton-born Sam Morsey, signed this week after his release by Bristol City. So they are the 2 starting 11 selected by the 2 new managers. Tony Mowbray, great to see him back in the dugout. He had his health issues, of course, returned to have a spell at West Bromwich Albion, and now back at Ewood Park with Blackburn Rovers. He is very familiar, as is he. Raul Jimenez had a really good World Cup with Mexico, curtailed in the end in the Azteca by England, and comes back to the club. He served with such distinction in his first spell. So, Sam Morsey amongst the substitutes for Blackburn Rovers. He's 34 now. He was a Wolverhampton Wanderers youth team player a long time ago, before he went on to forge a career initially at Port Vale and eventually at the likes of Middlesbrough and Ipswich and Bristol City. Well, Wolverhampton Wanderers lost one of their most celebrated goalkeepers just a week ago. Phil Parkes died aged 79, nicknamed Lofty because of his height. He played 382 times for the club over 14 years. Not to be confused with his namesake, who played for QPR and West Ham. Our referee today is Farai Halam. He's assisted by Mark Stevens and David Harrison on either touchline, and the 4th official is Andrew Kitchen. And the first touch of this championship season is going to go to Blackburn Rovers skipper Todd Cantwell. And it is the visitors from Lancashire kicking from left to right in the first 45 minutes as the season in the Championship starts here. First touch for Trippier. David Muller-Wölfer to Mathias Mane, of whom there will be very high hopes this season. One of the very few highlights of Wolves' Premier League season, Mathias Mane, his breakthrough. Totti Gomez finding Mosquera. Here is Totti Gomez, who has the captain's armband high on his left bicep. Muller-Wölfer. There's a good challenge by Christy Montgomery. There he is, the newsman, Cesar Peixoto, who's actually part of Jose Mourinho's Porto squad, which won the Champions League and UEFA Cup, though he didn't feature in either final back in the early 2000s. Totti Gomez for Matthias Mane. Johnson. Bielsa with a little poke ball forward. That's good play. Wanted a foul. Adam Armstrong didn't get one. Former Blackburn player, of course, with distinction actually. In Tony Mowbray's first spell at Ewood Park. And a very successful spell playing for Rovers. The now Wolves centre forward. So as a player he worked under Mourinho, which is certainly something which you'd hope might have rubbed off on him in his coaching career, which has taken him around mostly Portuguese clubs up to now. That's not a bad ball at all, and a volley out. Trippier sticking close, Mosquera tidying up. Blackburn have a throw. McLaughlin. Forshaw under pressure from Armstrong. Forshaw's little touch there was a good one. Afolayan's worked it away towards Alabiosu here. Morishita. Alabiosu. Morishita. Forshaw. It's a good little passage of play this. Todd Cantwell's got it wide to Alabiosu here for Blackburn Rovers. His cross into the penalty area is nodded firmly out by Totti Gomez. Tom Aitchison for Sean McLaughlin. Well, a Wolfers header matches Mane. Play by Matthias Mane. Menezzi's ball was blocked before it had travelled far. Menezzi's header. Can't find Armstrong. Johnson there just lent into his man, concedes the free kick. There's the Raul Jimenez song, and he nods in approval. 57 goals in 166 games for the club in his first spell. It was a poor touch by Trippier, and Afolayan was into it really quickly. Forshaw. Tackled by Trippier. Rodrigo Gomez is Andre. Been a nice early tempo about the game. Trippier. The boos for Kieran Trippier are because the Blackburn Rovers fans have not forgotten his time as a Burnley player. A long time ago now, but if you played for Burnley, Blackburn fans won't forget. And it also works the other way. If you played for Blackburn, Burnley fans will not forget that. Tom Aitchison. Dan Bentley in the Wolves goal. Jose Sá is amongst the substitutes, the highly decorated Portuguese international. Fouled by Cantwell. Those scars being twirled behind the goal actually were paid for by Raul Jimenez. The idea of his wife, Danielle, with a little thank you note along with a scarf on each seat behind the goal. Here's Morishita. Alabiossi. Tom Aitchison, a young and talented central defender. McLaughlin finds him again. He's only 19, Northern Ireland born. That's a goal kick. Well seen behind by David Müller-Wölfe. Such an experienced coach, Tony Mowbray. West Bromwich Albion promoted to the Premier League a long time ago, got Blackburn promoted back into the Championship, had 267 games in charge of the club first time round. After the former Premier League champions had slipped into the third tier. Good Johnson. Morishita's ball, well controlled by Alabiossi. Müller-Wölfe in front of him. Alabiosi's got the cross in. It's dangerous too, and it's looping just over the top of the crossbar, off the head of Afolayan. Good ball in here by Alabiossi. Get over Oladapo Afolayan, but it's a decent effort. First of the game goes to Blackburn. Good delivery. And both these sides were embroiled in relegation battles last season. Wolves to stay out of the Championship and Blackburn to stay in it. It's a push. Here's Andre. Totti Gomez for Müller-Wölfe. Good header by Pickering at left back. Armstrong has a good goal-scoring record at this level. That's going to be a free kick. Not a very good challenge that by Kieran Trippier, you'd have to say, on Pickering. Todd Cantwell, the skipper now. McLaughlin. Balázs Tóth is the Hungarian in goal for Blackburn Rovers. And Bielsu's forward ball, comfortably dealt with by Munetsi. One back by Forshaw for Blackburn. It's a promising ball for Morishita. Morishita trying to cut inside. It was put into a reasonable area. Cantwell didn't seem to think that he could get there. Good little bit of footwork. Big things hopeful from Fer Lopez. Mane's ball toward the back post. And it's a goal kick. Hard to judge from that replay whether that's the right decision or not, but that is the decision. Been all over the internet this week, Tony Mowbray, which is for unusual reasons, because of his in-depth conversation about his favourite chocolate bars. Sure that being an internet sensation is top of Tony Mowbray's bucket list, but he was this week. He's Forshaw. Oh, well picked off. Athletic. Yosan Mosquera, whose injury last season certainly didn't help Wolves' campaign. Mane. Well, 15 played. Not a lot to choose between the two sides. Blackburn have been bright after a real struggle of a season last time out. I think they'll be quite pleased, Tony Mowbray and his staff, with the first glimmers of the season proper. Munetsi, Fer Lopez, Munetsi, well blocked, McLaughlin. Cantwell finding space where it seemed there wouldn't be any. Alabiosu, really good turn of pace. Gudjonsson's in the middle, pulled back, and driven rather tamely by Morishita into the gloves of Bentley, but again down this right hand side with Ryan Alabiosu is where the danger is coming. Totti Gomez here. Fer Lopez was loaned to Celta Vigo last season. He's just threaded a lovely ball through, and Wolves scored the first goal of the season. Munetsi puts it away, but it's a glorious ball from Fer Lopez. Marshall Munetsi with the first championship goal of the season, and he took it really well, but it was a beautiful assist. Fer Lopez picked it up there, had the vision and the skill to play an inch perfect ball into Munetsi, whose run from a deep-lying midfield position was a good one, and whose finish was outstanding. Wolves in front inside 20 minutes. Slightly harsh on Blackburn maybe, but a really good goal. Richardson being put under pressure by Armstrong, got it back to Taut. It's skimmed over the top of Gudjonsson's head. Well, might he look rueful, because they've been pretty good. First sight of goal that Wolves have had, and it's the first goal of the game. %60% of Blackburn's points last season in the Championship came in away matches. 31 out of 52. That was the highest proportion in the Championship. Aitchison. Alabiosu. Not a very good ball. Andre for Wolves. Munetsi, the goal scorer, was caught with a free kick. Full-blooded from foreshore. Bentley. Mosquera. Trippier to Andre. Munetsi. Mane. Aitchison in the way. Trippier. Munetsi didn't really make contact with that. Matches Mane has collected it. Oh, good ball in by Mane. Turk decided he couldn't hold it, punched it instead for Lopez. Oh, great feet. Andre, his first touch meant he couldn't get a shot away. Armstrong's effort is blocked. Trippier. Well, really threatening passage of play. Ends with that misplaced pass, but Wolves clicked into gear neatly there. Inspired by Fer Lopez again. Now here come Blackburn. Cantwell. Forshaw. It's a throw into Wolves. "46 years old. He's been around 5 or 6 clubs in Portugal, actually. Cesar Peixoto. In a relatively brief number of years, as Fer Lopez attacks again. Mane. Totti Gomez. Matches Mane. Trippier. Rodrigo Gomez felt he was fouled. Haven't played each other, these two, since an FA Cup tie in February of 2025. 2-0 Wolves win at Ewood Park. João Gomez and Matheus Cunha got the goals, just 2 of many good players who've been and gone from Molineux. Wolfers given it away to Forshaw. McLaughlin. Fulian. Alabiasu. Good little darting run by Morishita. Good ball into the box too. Got it in there early. Put behind for a corner by Totti Gomez. Good play. Timed his run perfectly, Morishita. In goes this Blackburn corner kick. Dangerous too. That'll be another one the other side. Came off Munetzi's head. Good delivery this. Corner number 2. It's a bit deeper. Being collected by Morishita after Muller-Wolfer's half header. Morishita. Cantwell. Pickering. Morishita could spell this again. Oh, glancing header is beautifully done. Oh, it's a lovely goal. Morishita's delightful clip ball into the penalty area, and Sean McLaughlin heads Blackburn level. With what is a very rare goal indeed for him. That header from Totti Gomez didn't really do the job. Morishita's ball in is great. And McLaughlin's glancing header, guided like an expert beyond the glove of Bentley in the Wolves goal. You would not believe that that is his first goal in English football. His only other goal since leaving his native island and Cork City came in a loan spell at St Mirren from Hull. Wolves 1, Blackburn 1. Two really good goals. A little bit lax, that layoff from Armstrong, but it's collected by Mosquera. Andre. Wolfer finds Mane. And the return to the Norwegian, deflected behind for a corner. So right on the half-hour mark, Kieran Trippier is going to take what is Wolves' first corner kick of this game. Bit of a drifter, which went over the top of Mosquera, who wins a throw-in. Blackburn thought it had already gone out of play. Mosquera with the throw, headed out by Christy Montgomery. Trippier. Bielsu's header, Wolfer, Munetsi, and driven wide on the turn by Fer Lopez, who got his first goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers in the 3-0 Carabao Cup win over Port Vale here last weekend. Trippier. across the face of towards goal and put behind by Alabiosu. Really good area to put the ball into here. Rodrigo Gomez had every right to think that there might be someone there, but there wasn't. Trippier. Oh, and he's very lucky, Balázs short. So he made a bit of a hash of that. Had it ended up in his net, it's not inconceivable that it might have been ruled out for a foul. Free kick and a yellow card. Nice bit of skill that, just pulled back by Pickering rather cynically into the book, which is something of an anachronism because they don't have a book these days, the referee, but name written on the back of the card. In from Trippier. Overhit by Mane. Played for Porto and Benfica. And Portugal, Cesar Peixoto, though only once. Mane. Fouled by Montgomery. And the yellow card. Not retreating, I think he kicked the ball away, possibly Todd Cantwell, as they were about to take the free kick. Have a look. Yes, he did. That's a yellow card. Mane. Johnson, challenged by Mane. Lopez just carries the ball so tidily. Went to ground a bit too easily there, but the free kick actually had been given, but he took it with a rolling ball. Let's take it again. I must admit, I thought play had just gone on. The ball never stopped. Pickering. Well picked off. Into the last 10 minutes of what's been a very entertaining first half for the first match of the championship season. Mane forward for Lopez. Oh, that's a good effort. He's definitely got something. He really struck that nicely. It was moving in the air just too high. Wolves signed him from Celta Vigo. Didn't use him a lot and then loaned him back to Celta Vigo, for whom he played 43 times last season. You'd wonder why they didn't keep him on the evidence of the first nearly 40 minutes of this game. He's 22 years old, the Spaniard, and he looks like a player who could wreak some havoc in the Championship. Mane is beaten by Alabiosu. Andre. Trippier, Armstrong. Andre. Mane. Put behind by Pickering, who wasn't exactly sure where Rodrigo Gomez was, but he knew he was around him somewhere. Safety first is seldom a bad option, especially if you're a fullback looking at your own goal. Trippier. Mane. Oh, ruffled the top of the net. Well, that's twice in quick succession now. Wolves have had really good efforts just go over. First for Lopez, now matches Mane. Generates a lot of power off his side foot. Didn't dip, certainly curled. Montgomery, Forshaw, lost it. Rodrigo Gomez getting away from Adam Forshaw. I think Armstrong had just gone too soon there. It would have been offside if it reached him. Nice little head around the corner from Johnson. And Morishita is fouled, free kick. Bielsu. There's a danger. Folian. Pickering. Johnson. Alabiosu just beaten to it by Mane. Fer Lopez and Adam Armstrong getting forward. That's a good ball. This is Adam Armstrong for Wolves. Well blocked by McLaughlin. Fer Lopez. Andre got the shot away. Deflected off Aitchison nearly perfectly for Munetsi. Nearly got a stroke of luck here, Wolves. The shot hit Aitchison and deflected to Munetsi, but at such close quarters that he couldn't quite sort his feet out in time. Mosquera with the throw. And Armstrong unable to really redirect the header. I'm sure we'll see Raul Jimenez at some point today. Wolves unbeaten in their last 8 matches against Blackburn Rovers since a Premier League game here in March of 2012 when Blackburn won 2-0. Junior Hoylett with both goals. And both sides were relegated that season. Wolves finished bottom of the Premier League, Blackburn 1 place above them. Play on, says Farai Halam. Morishita. Cantwell to Montgomery, Forshaw. Aitchison, Montgomery. Been tidy, Blackburn. Morishita. Here's Todd Cantwell. Montgomery. Morishita. And Abios who has to go and collect that and chase after it. Montgomery won the header. Alabios has another chance to cross. Morishita. Volleyed away by Kieran Trippier. And Mane is fouled. Yellow card has come out. Adam Forshaw is the recipient. Bit harsh. 3 Blackburn players in the book now: Cantwell, Forshaw and Pickering. Fail from the PA system. Here's Fer Lopez. Follian forward, little touch off around the corner. You didn't find Pickering. Follian. Good Johnson. Free kick goes to Blackburn. Mosquera is saying he was elbowed somewhere around the face. Referee's given the free kick the other way. No, dear oh dear, Mosquera honestly really should be embarrassed. That is shocking. It really is shocking from Mosquera. I'm sorry. Love to see him get a yellow card for that. Well, that is half-time, and it's been a good half as well. Cesar Peixoto in a hurry to get into the dressing room. Scored a very good goal, created by Fer Lopez and finished by Marshall Munetsi, but their lead lasted less than 10 minutes as Morishita's delightful curling ball was guided into the back of the net by Sean McLaughlin's glancing header, his first goal in his career in English football. Half-time at Molineux, Wolves 1, Blackburn 1. Welcome back as Wolves take to the field for the second half, 1-1 against Blackburn Rovers in an entertaining first 45. Marshall Manetzi putting the home side in front, only for Sean McLaughlin to equalise 9 minutes later. No changes at half-time from either coach, it would seem. Farai Halam will get us back underway. It'll be Wolves to kick off the second half. And off we go with the scores level. Early defensive header from Aitchison. Andre for Wolves, hoiked forward by Muller-Wolfer. McLaughlin to Pickering. Mascara got just enough on it, but Bentley didn't quite have the time he wanted to do anything other than hoik it out of play. Trippier's head. Armstrong. Rodrigo Gomez back into Fair Lopez. Play goes on. Munetzi's ball took a little deflection which took it away from Rodrigo Gomez. And he slides in to concede the throw. For Forshaw, just about kept in by Pickering. Morishita, good run by Morishita, getting away from Andre. Afolayan with the effort, tipped over. The first chance of the second half goes Blackburn Rovers' way. Dan Bentley with a smartish save you'd expect him to make. Afolayan hit this pretty well. Heading over anyway, maybe. Maybe. Corner to Blackburn. Todd Cantwell is going to take this. Big strong header from Munetzi. Pickering chasing. Morishita. Oh, nicely done. Afolayan square. Good Johnson! And Blackburn are in front. Andrew Gudjonsson, right at the start of the second half. They celebrate in front of their travelling fans. And Wolves' delight in this game when they took the lead has turned to misery. They're now behind. Morishita into Afolayan. Good finish from the sliding Gudjonsson. Could he get there first, ahead of the two defenders? And the answer was yes. And any touch from that range was always likely to end up in the net. Wolves 1, Blackburn 2. Not the start he envisaged when Marshall Munetsi put them in front. Now Cesar Peixoto's side have some work to do. Good Johnson won that header well. Todd Cantwell here. Folian. That's always heading wide. But their tails are up, and why wouldn't they be? Here's Totti Gomez. That goal from Andre Gudjohnsen just might have brought forward the time for Raul Jimenez to come on. There's a certainty he would at some point. Might come on earlier than anticipated as they look for a goal. That pass from Munetsi straight through to Balash Tort in the Blackburn Rovers goal. Pickering. Forshaw. Picked off. Moved quickly by Andre to Matthias Mane. Mane. And it's a dive, says the referee, and a yellow card. He ran into Christy Montgomery and tried to make it look like there was something there, and Farai Halam wasn't having it. Well, the arm across the midriff from Pickering, from Montgomery. In some cases, that might just be seen as enough. Mane might be a little unlucky to get a yellow card. It wasn't enough to send him to the ground, though. Mane. Bielsu. Folian. Pickering. Forshaw. Oh, that's a poor ball. Matchday didn't control it, and Forshaw raises his arm in apology and probably puffs his cheeks in relief. It's a throw into Wolves. Well, he's limbering up with intent. Mascara, Trippier. It was behind Rodrigo Gomez. It's speared into Gudjohnsen. Here's Pickering. Andre Gudjohnsen, who is, of course, the son of Gudjohnsen, once of Chelsea and Barcelona. Oh, that's right across goal from Alabiosu. Folian will go and collect it. And that's offside against Cantwell. Well, Idegger Johnson was a poachery sort of a finisher. Andre has the genes, and he's got the goal tonight. 2-2 this season for him, to add to his goal at Burton Albion in the Carabao Cup. They were actually losing with 9 minutes to go at Burton in that game. Blackburn Rovers scored twice in that final segment of the game. Good Johnson's header. Wolves throw. Well, Blackburn are going to make a change, and they're going to give a debut to the man who they signed in midweek. Adam Forshaw is coming off. Sam Morsey is coming on. The fact that Forshaw's on a yellow card may not be unrelated to the fact he's been taken off. So on comes the 34-year-old Sam Morsey, born in this city of Wolverhampton, a Wolves youth team player, never played for the first team. They moved him on to Port Vale. He's had a long kind of journeyman-ish career. Mane. Offside anyway, I think. And here come the changes. Raul Jimenez is going to be coming on, and so too Tommy Doyle, who spent last season on loan away from Wolves at Birmingham City. Andre. Trippier. Venezia had it taken away from him, but Mosquera was there. Fer Lopez. Andre, nicely done. The shot from Munetsi took a deflection. It's going to be a corner. His willingness to get forward from what is nominally a defensive midfield position has been a real feature for Wolves, a real plus for them too. So, corner kick, Wolves, headed out by Johnson. That little touch from Cantwell took it away from Mane. Mulavulfa, Munetsi, Pickering, Mane. Shots on here maybe, if it'll sit down for him. Matthias Mane can't get through the white shirts. Andre. Fer Lopez. Farah Halam is not giving a free kick for that. Morishita going to ground much too easily. Good pressure from the home side. Matthias Mane. Rodrigo Gomez. Andre, penned in the final third at the moment, Blackburn. Fer Lopez, Rodrigo Gomez, not his best cross, blocked by Sam Morsey to throw into Wolves. Wonder if that will be the trigger for the substitutions to be made. No, it's not. Throw-in taken by Trippier. Toward Fer Lopez. Sam Morsey was there. Cantwell's header's not the best. And Munetsi on the half volley has skied it. Pressure off. And A couple of players coming off as well as Raul Jimenez makes his return. Matthias Mane has to make way. Raul Jimenez did come on in the Carabao Cup last weekend. So he is on for Matthias Mane. The Raul Jimenez song and scarves are very much in evidence. And there is his wife, whose idea it was to put a scarf on each seat at that end. So Jimenez on, Matthias Mane off. Tommy Doyle was also stripped and ready for action, but he is not yet on the pitch. Cantwell. An hour played, Wolves 1, Blackburn 2. Great start to the season it would be for Blackburn Rovers to win at Molineux if they can keep it this way. Pickering. Totti Gomez forward. Adam Armstrong has moved away to the left-hand side with Raul Jimenez obviously always going to play down the middle. There is Armstrong down that left-hand side. Tom Richardson with the clearing header. Just a bit laboured Wolves at the moment. Rodrigo Gomez, Raul Jimenez on the turn. Nothing doing there. Aitchison made enough contact with the ball for Fry Halam to just signal to the Mexican number 9 to get up. Well, actually, he didn't make a lot of contact with the ball, if any. It's an interesting one. Oh, might have gone the other way. Here's Morishita though for Blackburn. Montgomery, Morishita, Alabiosu, Cantwell. Not quite. Wolves haven't had an attempt on target in this game since the goal in the 18th minute. That will be a concern to Cesar Peixoto. Indeed, the goal is their only shot on target in the game so far. Trippier. Fouled. Folly out. Certainly was a foul, and Trippier didn't like it much. Tommy Doyle is now going to be coming on very shortly. Trippier's free kick, for Lopez for Wolves. Kieran Trippier. Comfortable for Balázs Tóth. I think it would be kind to put that down as an attempt on target. Nicely threaded ball into Olofian, who's off and running here. Morishita's in the middle, Cantwell arriving. Trippier clearing. Montgomery. Shouts of handball ignored by the referee. A folly out. Johnson, a folly out. It's an awkward one for the goalkeeper, Bentley. I think he thought about getting something on it and then pulled out at the last minute, realising it was off target, which was probably a good decision. Very, very tight offside call. Alabios' curling ball in. He actually took a little flick off the studs of Munetsi. So going to be changes all round here, and Rodrigo Gomez is replaced by Tommy Doyle. Chachuta, Jackson Chachuta, Cameroon international, coming on for Kieran Trippier. We're going to see Jaden Fevrier signed from Stockport County, along with Gudjonsson, a scorer against Burton Albion in the Carabao Cup. Todd Cantwell, the skipper, makes way. And Yuki Ohashi is on for a folly out. Well, we've passed the midway point of the second half, and Blackburn Rovers still have that lead given to them by Andre Gudjonsson early in the second half of this game. Clipped cross for Lopez. Not one of his finest moments of this game. His influence has waned after a very lively first half from the Spaniard, and Wolves fans at the moment are experiencing something of a familiar sinking feeling, an all too familiar sinking feeling. Still 20 odd minutes to go. Balash taught with an untidy clearance. It'll be a throw into Wolves, quickly taken. Adam Armstrong. Totti Gomez from Mosquera. Munetzi. Totti Gomez. Andre. Mosquera. Doyle. Lopez fouled after he delivered that pass. He was looking for a 1-2 from Raul Jimenez. And Yuki Ohashi made sure he wasn't going to get it. Raul Jimenez has very clearly taken charge. It looks very much like it's going to be the Mexican, though Fer Lopez is standing to the right-hand side of Jimenez. Could be his left foot. Nope, Raul Jimenez it is, straight into the wall. Raul Jimenez. Doyle, it's really pinged up, made it very awkward for him. He's in a great position here, Tommy Doyle, while Raul Jimenez picks him out. But that first touch sent it flying up onto the arm or the chest, probably the chest. Wouldn't sit down. Former Manchester City player, of course, had a really good loan spell at Sheffield United before joining Wolves. It feels like Wolves are running out of ideas a bit at the moment. Both these sides through to the second round of the Carabao Cup, and they will both play opposition from Sheffield. Wolves will go to Hillsborough to play Wednesday. Here's Fer Lopez for Wolves. Blackburn will be at home to Sheffield United as Pickering dispossessed Fer Lopez momentarily. Mosquera for Totti Gomez. Fer Lopez. Armstrong. Blocked by Alviosu. Wolves will have to settle for throw-in here. Mosquera, perhaps slightly belatedly, realising it was going to be his job to take it. Aitchison won it in the air. Sam Morsey out of play, Wolves throw. onside, I think. Charged down by McLaughlin. I think he's being played on by Aitchison here. Certainly the decision made by the assistant on this near side, Mark Stevens. Doyle with the corner, which is cleared. And Doyle here has not dealt with that at all. Morishita running away. Well, he tried to squeeze it through into the path of Jaden Fevrier, wasn't quite swift enough. Taught. It's given away by Aitchison to Andre. Given back, Sam Morsey. Ohashi. Goal kick. Into the last 15 minutes. Be a terrific victory this for Blackburn, goodness. And a worrying defeat for Wolves, whose next game is at Deepdale against Preston. Is that a push for Ihal Amsters? No. Adam Armstrong it was, who went to ground. Not a huge appeal from the Wolves player. That's a free kick. Foul by Marshall Munetsi on Jaden Fevrier. Let's have a look at this. No. Bit of cramp here. Looks like there might be at least one Blackburn change as well as this Wolves change. Pedro Lima is coming on. Pedro Lima, the 20-year-old Brazilian. Alebiosu is having his thigh muscle stretched out. So David Muller-Wulfer, the Norwegian left-back, makes way. Pedro Lima, more attacking player, comes on. And it is a double change for Wolves, with Andre, the man who has gone off, so that Tawanda Chiruewa can come on. Morishita. Is one of the two to come off. Goal scorer Gudjonsson, Yuri Ribeiro and Jake Garrett are on. Kind of defensive changes as you would perhaps expect from Blackburn, given they're 2-1 up, heading into the final furlong almost. Final 10 minutes just seconds away. Pedro Lima, he will hope can create something, because Wolves have certainly run out of ideas, it feels, in this second half. Sam Morsey with the free kick for Blackburn Rovers. Up toward Garrett, trying to hold the ball up gamely, wanting a free kick, not getting it. It's a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Pedro Lima. Gone into Trippier's right back position so that Jackson Chachuta can move away into midfield. Pedro Lima has a bit about him going forward as well, though. Here's Doyle. Chirewa. Fevrier. Well, it's a Wolves throw, but Fevrier did well there just to get the ball that far up the pitch. Tawanda Chirewa was stuck with him and won the throw-in. Armstrong, well, McLaughlin felt he'd been fouled. Armstrong made a challenge on McLaughlin, which the referee did not give as a free kick. And Armstrong arguably didn't quite make the most of that opportunity that had been given. Morsey for Blackburn. Jake Garrett playing it through to Ohashi. It's a foul by Yuki Ohashi and a free kick to Wolves. Mike Dodds interceding on behalf of Tony Mowbray. Here's Yerson Mosquera. Bit of cramp at the moment. Mosquera, he's struggling. Totti Gomez. Doyle. Fair Lopez. Chirewa's pass just behind Armstrong. He's working hard to try and win it back, though, the Zimbabwean. Mosquera's in a good deal of pain at the moment. It'll be a free kick to Blackburn Rovers. Okay, Ribeiro fell on his calf. That is a painful one. They've made all 5 substitutions, Wolves. So Mosquera, it's not cramp, it is an injury. They either have to take him off and play with 10, or he has to limp through whatever remains of the game. I don't think he's going to be able to last. Tom Aitchison back to Balazs Tort. Heavy touch from Chachuta. Doyle. Chirewa. Man down still for Blackburn. Farai Halam is not going to stop play, though. Pedro Lima's ball into the penalty area. Tom Aitchison rose highest. Sam Morsey pokes it away. Headed by McLaughlin, Doyle, Morsey. And again, Sam Morsey winning it from Jackson Chachuta. Montgomery. Some tired legs out there, which you can understand first day of the season. Doyle. A little over 5 to play. Pedro Lima. McLaughlin's header. Sam Morsey here. Holding off Fer Lopez. Fevrier. Garrett ahead of him. Fevrier cuts inside. And wins his side. A corner came off Munetsi. That's good play. They'll take that. Two-one up. Good and 5 of normal time to play. Corner kick in their favour. No wonder they're happy. Fevrier's going to take this corner kick. Oh, McLaughlin wasn't too far away from getting a second goal. It's a free kick to Wolves for a foul by Fevrier. Dan Bentley. I don't see there being a huge amount of added time at the end of the 90 minutes. And quite a few substitutions, obviously. Both sides have made all 5. But that aside, there haven't been any injury stoppages that I can think of. Fer Lopez. Raul Jimenez, Aitchison was in strongly and fairly, says Farai Halam. Garrett's ball being chased by Yuri Ribeiro. Mosquera needs treatment. They need him back on the pitch, but the physios will have their work cut out. Well, the Wolves owners have had a pretty bad 12 months. And this would not be an ideal start. They are celebrating over the course of this season 150 years in existence, Wolverhampton Wanderers. 3-time champions of England. So Blackburn, actually. In behind to Ohashi. Totti Gomez, arm was in the back of Yuki Ohashi, who can't believe he hasn't got a decision here. Not sure it was in the penalty area, but it did look like a foul. It's outside the box, that's the first thing to say. I think Farai Halam's got that right, actually. There was a bit of emotion into his back, but he made a lot of it. Mosquera is back on. How able to run he is, we will see. Not very able to run is the immediate feeling. Takes the throw back to goalkeeper Bentley. 90 seconds plus added time for Wolves to try and salvage something from this first game in the Championship this season. Totti Gomez. Mosquera. Can't help feeling he does not want the ball, but he keeps getting it. Fer Lopez. Raul Jimenez. And Munetsi. Montgomery made a lunging kind of a challenge. Have a look at this. It's this from Montgomery. He's got the ball, he's done really well. Mosquera with the long throw in, it hurt him to take it. It's hooked behind for a goal kick. And the 90 minutes are nearly up. Seconds away from a first league defeat. Balash talked with the clearance away downfield for Blackburn Rovers as we move into added time at the end of the game. Bentley for Wolves, but a minimum of 4 added minutes, I believe. Confirmation. Blackburn's throw though. Ohashi. There's a ball onto Jake Garrett if he can see it. Well, he saw it, but he couldn't deliver it. Garrett has gamely gone chasing after that, and we'll try and use up some seconds. Here's Sam Morsey, bringing all his experience to bear. Chirewa. Getting away from Montgomery. Chachuta. Chachuta's ball in, they're appealing for handball, and it's given. It hit Alabiosu. And Farai Halam has pointed to the penalty spot. In added time at the end of the game. Well, Chachuta plays it in. His feet are outside the penalty area, but his arm, maybe not. And he's clearly blocked across with his raised right arm. I don't know why on earth you'd do that. I think his arm is in the box or on the line, and it's a penalty. Farai Halam seems to have got that right to me. Don't look at his feet, look at his arm. It's a penalty kick to Wolves. Raul Jimenez on his return to league action for the club for whom he scored 57 times in his first spell. He has a 100% penalty kick record in Premier League football. And he scores. It's 2-2. Well, there's the story. Raul Jimenez on his return to Molineux. Nobody more popular than the Mexican number 9 around these parts. And nobody better for a pressure penalty than Raul Jimenez. Two-two. Oh, goodness me, suddenly Blackburn are trying to get their noses back in front, and Bentley had to put that over the bar. As Sam Morsey played it into Garrett. That was on target, and it's going to be a Blackburn corner kick. Has to be less than a minute to play. Blackburn corner. Referee's whistle has gone. He wants to sort something out before this corner's taken. Drama here. Well, Tony Mowbray discussing it with Andrew Kitchen, but did look the right decision. In goes the corner kick. Oh, Bentley dropped it, but he was fouled. And Fry Halam puts his whistle to his lips, and it has finished all square at Molineux. Raul Jimenez stoppage time penalty for the first goal of his second spell at the club, salvaging a point for the home side against a very spirited Blackburn Rovers who came within a few seconds of winning this game. Tony Mowbray disappointed with the decision to award the penalty for sure, but I think that most observers would say it was the right call. Really good game at Molineux. Munetsi put Wolves in front, McLaughlin and then Gudjonsson early in the second half made it 2-1 to Blackburn. The handball from Alebiosu, penalty converted by Raul Jimenez on 93 minutes, and it finishes Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Blackburn Rovers 2.